You know, it's almost like I woke up one morning and thought, you know what I need? Not one, not two, but 3 sets of 520 pencils. And welcome to Grace and Lottie's. I'm Elizabeth. I am here with a lot of pencils. And when I mean a lot of pencils, I mean a lot of pencils. You can see them all sitting here. I've got my Brutfuners, the flower boxes. I've got the Brutfuner yellow boxes. And now to add to the 520, let's hoist these things around, the Kalour 520 set. So a lot of pencils here. I want to take some time to now compare them. I'm mainly going to be looking at the Kalour today and kind of seeing if they're as good as the others. Where do they fit in this scheme? So I'm going to pull out one tray from the yellow box. Right? One tray from the flower box. And this. Both of them start off with yellows and reds, which is kind of fun right there with those. The color's a little different, so you'll see that one in just a moment. But let's get these set over here and out of the way. And now we can get into the actual unboxing now that those are sitting there and ready for later. But here is the giant set. Comes in a tin, which is different. You saw the other ones are cardboard boxes. The yellow box is a tray system, which I find really handy for actually using at your desk. I think that's nice that you could just pull out the tray and be able to get your pencil pretty easily. Getting in and out of the other ones, a little more difficult. The giant flower boxes, a little unwieldy getting around. This guy, a little bit less of a footprint than the flower boxes. It does have 13 trays of 40 instead of 20 trays of 26. So if I can got my math right there. Comes, let me see, here is one of the trays. So the trays are about the same size, but look at this tray. You see that? That is like super, super, super handy with these. Now I'm not going to try that with the yellow box set. This is from the flower box. I will have to test that in moving these around because they're a little flimsy. I had them slide out of order a couple of times working with them and had to figure out the order, pull out my page, like, okay, well, how do they go in here? Fortunately, I have that, which if you don't get one of the swatch charts like I've got right here, which records all of the number or all of the box order right here, you're not going to have a record for the box order at all because they do not provide that anywhere with this, but we'll get to that in a moment. So there's this tray. I'm going to go ahead and set this over to the side now. One strange thing is like this guy, sorry, before I go, has like the elastics on it. And then the very bottom two have the elastics on it. It's kind of a strange thing because it's like, this would have been nice on all the trays, but didn't happen. Instead you have to do a pinch. And that's where I had my little accident, was when I was trying to pinch the trays. So let's go ahead and we will switch to desk cam right here with these. And you can see, I'm gonna set the trays on top of each other here. We've got a little bit of a mess going right now. So you can see the size different. So I can't say that the yellow box I can flip upside down. They are all in there pretty well. But here is the size difference between the trays. So you can see that the yellow box is the smallest. It's probably the flimsiest of all of them, but because of the way with the pencils in here, it actually stays fairly rigid. Without the pencils in here, it'd be a mess. I can say that. This one, again, this is the most sturdy of the trays. I have full faith that my pencils will stay here. They also, because of that, like I have them with their names and everything facing up and they stay that way. Really nice in using them. So those are both the Brutfuners. Here's the Kalours. They slide all around. As you see, I'm doing that. Woo, kind of fun right there with them. They do not stay in there. If I flip this over, I'm going to create a giant mess on my desk, which I do not want to have to clean up. So that is that. Now, with the sets, the Kalour comes with an absolute behemoth of a swatch chart. And if you're here regularly, you will know that I did do that on stream. like actually filled this out. And I honestly did these not once, not twice, but I technically have swatched all the way through the sets a total of 5 times. That's a full hand of times, but getting all of my swatch charts set up, doing this giant swatch chart, this swatch chart that comes with it has them in numeric order. This is not the order that they are in the container, and it kind of jumps as you see, like, oh, we're going reds, oh, into some yellows, blues, and then hard jump into green, hard jump into purple. Then we come over here and we end up in the some more purples, browns. Then it goes into metallics and neons. Then we kind of start all over again. But bloody red right here. Again, the names on these are hilarious, and we'll get into the names in a minute. But kind of out of place. Then it goes through again and repeats till it gets to the metallics and the fluorescents. Okay, so that's just box order. That swatch chart not so useful. Now the Brutfuner chart, each one comes with a chart, each box. So this is not the yellow box. This is the flower box. Comes with this. It has no numbers, no names. You fill it all out. I have yet to do it because I can't decide exactly how I want those to be ordered on there. So that does exist with these. So you can see which one would work a little bit better. I personally like this guy a little bit better just because of ease of use. Like trying to use that other giant one on my desk, a little bit much to try to like maneuver and while I'm trying to work with my pencils. Okay, now both the Brutfuners and the Kalours have the fluorescents and the metallics mixed in. And you can see right here, here's a fluorescent. I don't know if this, oh, there's metallic right here, golden yellow. You know it by the names. There is no like fluorescent metallic sheen on the metallic pencils. They have this same type of coating as the regular pencil. The fluorescents say fluorescent. Now, the one problem, and I'm gonna hit this with a black light, so my camera's gonna love me for a moment, because you'll be able to see the fluorescents kind of glow. Even the coating, so we got a fluorescent here, but yet cream yellow doesn't glow. Orange yellow does. The bright orange does, lemon yellow, fruit green. Like, it's funny the ones that glow and which ones don't. Actually, Tuscan yellow is glowing a little bit. That is not a fluorescent. But not all of the fluorescents, when I swatched them, and I will pull up the swatch chart right here so you guys can see this. Not all of them fluoresce, especially the blues and the purples. You can see right here, purple pink is doing just a little bit, but this one fluorescing, lots of fluorescing, but then the lilac's not, the sky blue's not, the regular blue isn't, orchid is not. So I was a little bit let down by that because I'm having some fun right now actually getting to play with blacklight effects in my art. And that's to me, one of the key things for a fluorescent pencil is that it actually fluoresces, right? So just know that with them, you'll be able to tell it in the feel. If you've ever worked with fluorescents, typically fluorescent blue pencils feel awful when you're trying to use them. Look, there's just something in the chemistry in creating the pigment that just makes them not want to lay down as well. And they just have a weird feel to them. These feel like a normal color pencil when you're laying them down on the paper. So that did not surprise me when they didn't work the way I expected when I hit them with the black light because of the way they felt. Now, how do these actually, real quick, I also want to show this. Look, these are dipped. None of the Brutfuners are dipped pencils. So in feel, this one feels a little bit better than this one. You can see it's a little bit higher quality. It only has one number, light fastness, name. This one, number, name, number. These numbers on the Brutfuner a little bit confusing. I'm trying to figure out what those mean and how they work. And the one that's the hardest to see is the one that you need the most. So the Brutfuner's a little bit confusing there. So if you're trying to decide between these two sets, know that I think the quality is a hair better on these, on the Kalours. Now, let's now jump into how they behave. I've already done all of this off camera. My camera is still having some fun adjusting color-wise after the black light. So let's get a look at, I've got my Crayola sheet here as well. So let's take a look really quick at how these performed on paper. Now, I've got the Kalour here, the regular Brutfuner, which was the flower box. This is before I knew the yellow box was a thing. So I've got all of their sheets here to compare. And because of the price point of these, I compare them to the Crayolas. The Crayolas are my ones that average pencil right there. I gave it all a 3. It's what we're going to compare to with this. So when we're looking at erasability, these erased a little bit better than the Brutfuners. The regular ones didn't want to erase as well. The yellow box erased a little bit better. So I gave this 4 stars. Now, when it got into blendability, I was really surprised by these. I had not gotten a chance to. You can see I did 3 different blends. This is a white blend. These are 2 pencils, and then these are 2 contrasting colors, so you can kind of see how they come together. They do better than the Brutfuners right here, which I gave it a 4. Maybe I need to raise this one. We're going to take you up to a 4.5. Right there. We're going to give you a 4.5 because blended better than the Crayolas. I was very pleasantly surprised. But however, my white opacity, I had to work, and I was rubbing, taking the white over and over, trying to give it a good shot. Not as great. Got a 2 here. Hand fatigue. I know how these work. Laying these down, swatching them through 5 times. My hand for all of that work actually was not as exhausted as I thought it would be. So for hand fatigue, it got a 4. It did not make them feel bad. Color vibrancy, super great. I just swatched a bunch right here just to kind of show the vibrancy. You can see they look like their barrel. Some great color there. Now, predictability, this is where it gets a little bit weird because you can see I did a +1 and a -1. So the +1 is that these have a very interesting way that they name the colors. A lot of them, there'll be a certain shade. Let's pick a shade here. So let's see if I've actually got one. So blue. Here's plain blue right here. Deep blue. It'll have light blue. Pastel blue. In bright blue, and all of these names, fluorescent blue, metallic blue, to where it almost, by naming them, puts them into great color families, so super usable there. And I'm going to do a whole video exploring the color families with these to kind of see what all do they mean, how does that work. So that's the +1 with these. I really liked that for the names. The -1, some of these have some really weird names. And if you're watching my shorts right now that are coming out, I've been doing the Spooky Color Showdown. A lot of them came from this set. Because the names, Flesh Puff was one that just came out. I was like, that's such a weird name. With the right amount of imagination, they become a very interesting shade. So that's the -1 right here, because some of the names are just a little bit odd. There is also one, too, and this has been a short as well, aubergine and eggplant. As far as I know, those are both the same thing. One is the UK British term and one is the American term for that. I guess it's a fruit. It has seeds on the inside. So whichever one you say, drop that in the comment. Do you say aubergine or eggplant? I would love to know. But that is the +1, -1 for these. The +1 is I love that they came up with this color system for naming them, but then a -1 for just some of the strange ones. And there were several that were even misspelled, with salmon, especially salmon, and britch red instead of brick red. And it wasn't just that it was misspelled on the pencil, it was misspelled on everything that came with it. Now, the final thing to get down and look at and to compare full on is price per pencil. So right now on Amazon, and I use Amazon for my finding prices because they stay pretty consistent there. And it's if I'm going to compare apples to apples, that allows me to compare apples to apples versus finding the cheapest price online. Right now around $114, sometimes they're $119. At the $119 price, they're the exact same price as the Brutfuner flower box right here at 23 cents a pencil. At the $114 price, they're 22 cents a pencil. So that makes them more expensive than your Crayola set, which Crayola is $150 at most. And then it's more expensive, the yellow box. I feel like they are slightly better quality than the yellow box. Just to let you know, they are better quality. I think that they are slightly better quality than their Brutfuners overall. So that is where I place these pencils. Now, this was enough information for one video. I do have videos planned where I will actually color with these. And if you've gotten these and you want to nab the swatch charts, those will be available in the Etsy store. So, videos coming soon with actually coloring them, as well as the color comparison chart or color comparison video where I will compare the different colors and the way that they're named to see if it actually like makes sense. Color or swatch charts are available in the Etsy store. So they are there right now when this video comes out, so you can find them there. I think that covers it. So which one do you think you would buy? Brutfuner or Kalour? Leave that in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.